RDL, g'day on. It is 2026. Wow, that doesn't even sound right to say. That sounds really weird. Still feel like it's early 2020s. But here we are. We're in the second half of the decade already. Okay. Let's have some fun. Taking a look at some of the most inspiring and special moments and interesting things that have happened in the past year. Highly upvoted on the interwebs from down under. Starting it out with a quokka. Why is watching cute animals like that eat just so fun, right? The way they hold it. Oh my god, it is insane how cute those are. This one had an insane amount of likes, so let's see.
There it goes.
Australia's a different world.
It's getting in the van. No, it's getting in the van.
I will never understand how the spiders are so big. I will never understand how said spiders being so big can fit in the weirdest places. Like, how on earth is he getting through a door that's clearly shut? It sounds like the door's like partially shut, or it's not latched properly, right? Like, this thing is closed and shut. How the hell's he getting through there?
Getting in the van. No, it's getting in the van.
No. No.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh my god. I should have known.
Try it with the sauce, bro. Trust me, you'll like it.
It's a nice picnic mate, yeah? Yeah.
Excuse me, mate.
Him too.
Do you know where the nearest McDonald's is?
I love how he's matching the speed of the car, by the way.
Not. This is the second night in a row that my dog is waking me up to a spider
Oh.
on.
You know what? W for the dog there, right? I mean, can't you get some peace while you're sleeping? I think I would definitely have like 3 or 4 dogs if I'm living in Australia. Just saying. Feel it's necessary. My God, man. Set the Australian alarm clock.
Boys, no. Oi. No fighting at the park.
You know what? Part of that, though,
Not. This
it's just a place that's full of life. It's honestly kind of fun, right? That's why Australia is so fascinating to me, but I think it's fascinating to so many people because everywhere has animals and bugs and spiders and all that stuff, but it's just like everything, like Australia won when it came to the unique factor, right? Australia got, you know, if it was a video game, like Australia has the unique level maxed out. They leveled up so high. Now, this is no surprise. This is one of the highest upvotes from last year, right at the end of the year, literally. You know, record high, 114,000 likes on this particular subreddit, like ever last year. And it, of course, is Australia. The Bondi hero alive and awake with the Prime Minister. Pretty cool.
Think you've got a heart is strong. Think your courage is inspiring. Think you've got much.
Yeah, that's pretty big deal. Right? I mean, it seems like nowadays politics is everywhere and it's always explosive and crazy and this versus that. Doesn't matter who you vote for, who you like. I mean, when a prime minister is there at your bedside thanking you, right? And that's pretty big deal, no matter who you are. It's pretty impactful. Yeah, said it 8 trillion times. You've read it and heard it. Yeah, this guy's a legend for sure. Absolutely amazing. And I still can't even believe that whole story. It's a tragedy. Thank goodness some people are brave on another level. They're selfless on another level. It's beautiful. Then we have this guy. We have Australia's oldest man, 110. 110 years old. Wow. I like, I am, I am 33. He is over triple my age, or was. Like, I don't know when this is from, but this is, at least this post is from last year, and this was, again, very highly rated, highly liked post. Anyway, let's get to it. He spends his last days knitting sweaters for injured penguins. How freaking cool is that? This guy's 110. He doesn't have to do anything, right? He's lived a hell of a long life. Doesn't owe anyone anything, in my opinion. And yet he is doing a skill, right? How many people that are not 110? How many people that are, a half his age or a third of his age or a quarter of his age know how to, knit sweaters? Like, that's probably something I feel like is dying out, right? Or at least a lot more rare than it was, years and years ago. This guy's over here knitting beautiful sweaters. I mean, these are cool. Look at the designs on these. They're freaking awesome. For penguins, for injured penguins. Let's go. From an absolutely brave legend to a very wholesome post here. Most precious content of the day. Yeah, certainly was. To more wholesome content. I love it, guys. I love it. The news is always full of junk, bad stuff, controversial stuff. And, we all kind of know that, right? But it's good to have some good in the world. I'm aware it should be all good either, right? You got to be aware of stuff, whether it's good or bad. But come on, I like hearing some good news. This one's pretty cool. Whenever there's a natural disaster in Australia, the Sikh community comes with free food vans. There you go. Love all, share all. I've heard, I don't know much about it. I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about it, but I thought that was pretty well known that the Sikh community, they're very strong on communal efforts, food, providing food. I think that's pretty well known, and this kind of, rings true, right? So I think this is actually really, really cool, especially if you're in maybe, a smaller town in Australia or something, or maybe you're out in the bush or something, right? If they're around, I feel like that's pretty cool. Everyone can appreciate that. Now, meanwhile, on the flip side, Breaking Australia has introduced a new bill that will limit the total spending on a party by billionaires like Elon Musk to just $20,000. Now, I'm assuming that would be Australian dollars. Either way, it doesn't matter. 20 grand when we're talking about billionaires is nothing to them, but that's the point, right? This will ban billionaires from single-handedly buying elections in Australia. Dude, I feel like this is logic. I feel like this actually makes sense. This is actually really, really useful, really cool. Look, I just don't understand. There's like politics and being politicians, then there's like people who aren't politicians, but they're so in politics, right? They're pulling strings and influencing stuff. So it's like, it's weird, right? But that's certainly the case here in the US, right? You do have billionaires. There's so many people that are just unbelievably rich. And I feel like they get bored, right? And they try and mess with politics, try and buy your way, your favorite person who you can align with and get deals with. Why not buy their way rather, into a position? I think it's definitely a problem. One of the many, many problems, like system problems, logical fallacies that exist here in the US, right? There's a lot of weird stuff that just needs to be, we need to like redo this stuff. The US is just full of people buying elections, major levels, local levels, lobbying, right? Lobbying for different industries is like unbelievable. It's so annoying, man. It's crazy. So I feel like, without knowing everything here, I feel like at face value, this seems like a W for Australia, right? I mean, it just seems weird that you would have someone that's so rich that can practically buy or heavily, heavily alter an election. It's really weird. And on that note, I thought this was hilarious. It's like the last thing I would think to see in Australia. I don't know how common this thing is. I would hope not terribly common, but I thought that was funny. The funny part that someone actually brought up in the comments is, honestly, with the amount of Trump merchandise out there, I can tell this is supposed to be pro-Trump or anti-Trump. That is actually the funny part because it could be either or. Not really, though, right? It would be funny if it was supposed to be pro-Trump. I mean, because it's literally a toilet cleaning brush. I love how it says "Make America Clean Again" with Trump's hair. This is hilarious, right? I don't care who you are. That's funny. You would think it'd be anti-Trump, but then again, it seems like they love to slap Trump merch, together in all forms. So who really knows? I have no idea. Now, another top post here. This is Australia just rolled out health warnings on every cigarette. This is from like 7 months ago. This got a high amount of attention. Now, of course, I've seen like the packaging depict some, different things. But I didn't actually remember, I guess, or understand that it's actually on each cigarette, right? You could see, I think this one says poison in every puff. So, look, no judgment if you smoke or not. Don't mind me. I personally don't. And boy, I see a lot of different countries really make it to where I feel like they're pretty effective at making you second guess if you want to have a bunch of cigarettes today. You know what I mean? I actually like this comment. I think it's even more effective, shockingly. They should just print the price of each ciggy on the smoke so you can see how much money is going up in flames. In Australia, a packet of 20 could be between $36 and $50. That is insane, man. It is insane how expensive they are. They're very expensive near me as well. Not a big deal to me, whoever does it, but it seems like a very expensive hobby. Like, ouch. And I guess it's not a hobby, but sorry, you know what I meant. Now, this is something the U.S. certainly could learn from Australia. This was highly upvoted, of course, and everyone was loving this in the comments. Mostly Americans who were just jealous that this was a thing. Come on, give us a break. I mean, I am jealous. This is amazing. U.S. Yeah, that'll be $3,000 for your 2-minute ambulance ride. Meanwhile, in Australia, yeah, I could fly you 2,000 kilometers for some blood work. Of course, referring to the Australian Royal Flying Doctor Air Service, or the Royal Flying Doctor Service. I feel like I'm getting one of those wrong, in a wrong position there. Forgive me. You know what I mean? Yeah, you guys have that. I think it's amazing. It's actually incredible. As an American, I naturally can't comprehend it. Yeah, I just can't. It's awesome. We don't have this. Real quick, I'm pretty well versed in Aussie talk. Wouldn't this be, because he's saying he can fly you, right? Wouldn't this be nah, yeah? Not yeah, nah? Because I thought yeah, nah meant no. I thought nah, yeah meant yeah. This one was highly upvoted. This was today I learned that Australia has forced gambling companies to display slogans in their ads like "You win some, you lose more," and "What's gambling really costing you?" instead of the standard "Gamble responsibly." So ours always say "Gamble responsibly." It's like the go-to, and then it'll show like if you're having trouble or issues, like here's a number, to get consulting and to someone to talk to you about how to not get addicted to gambling. Like that's pretty much the greatest links you'll see here, and I think in most places. This one, you win some, you lose more. It's a little bit more clever. And it's true, I have to say, I am not someone who's ever had issues with gambling. Issues as in like myself, right? Like I know it exists. It's actually, it is legal in my state, perfectly legal and regulated. But I don't really do it much. And the reason being is because, I don't like, who likes to lose money, right? Of course, it would be fun to win. But I hate losing the money, so I don't tend to do it much. And it's funny because it says you win some, you lose more. Yeah, for me, the reason I really kind of hate sports betting is because, like, literally, if I bet, I haven't done this in a long time, but I learned early on, like the couple times I had to learn the hard way. I would put a lot of money on something that seemed very obvious. It seemed like a lock, right? And somehow, like some incredibly way how, it went the other way. So I lost, right? Hence the you lose more. So then I would go on some, the next time I would go on some locks, like this should totally go this way, easy peasy. And then I would bet on some more risky ones. But the point was with those, I would do all very, very small bets. Like if I lose this, who cares? I'd end up winning, but like I didn't win much because if you only bet a couple bucks, you're not going to win much. But if you bet, $30 or $40, $50, then you're going to win better. Well, whenever I bet those higher amounts, I lose no matter what. Even if it's like the easiest lock ever, doesn't matter. But when I just put a little bit on there, I win. But at the end of the day, you're not winning much. So yeah, that got annoying real quick. It almost felt like I could if I bet big, I could change the outcome of the game. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Hence why I don't do it. This was highly upvoted. I believe this is a Boulder Opal. Now we've seen these before. I can't remember if we've seen this exact one. We have. I apologize. I don't know if we have. This one is incredible. Jeez, look at that. It looks like the ocean in there, man. That is just beautiful, man. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. The thrill of finding that, right? Like I'm seeing it on video and it's like gives me goosebumps. It's so incredible. But imagine actually holding that and you split that open. Like, holy crap, man. Australia really is full of wonder. And then finally, New Year's Eve fireworks. I learned this years ago that I think some of the best in the world, no doubt, is in Australia. Sydney in particular is pretty famous for having some of the best. And if anyone wants to argue that, I mean, you're on your own. I mean, they are some of the best when it comes to the fireworks show. This is a couple statics. We'll take a look at a little bit of video together. But I thought this was kind of a cool spot, like cool pictures, because it's a little different vantage point that you might expect. And then before we get to the video, this one as well. This is actually from Hobart, Tasmania. I think that's awesome too. These are great pictures. We got like a cruise ship, of course, this beautiful harbor and water, and you can see the hills. It's just cool, man, right? The fireworks look absolutely magnificent. And without further ado, this was the Sydney show from just a few days ago. 2 or 3 days, whatever. I can't believe, right? Time still flies in 2026. Yeah, look at that. Unbelievable. How do they do it, right? It feels like a good way to put it is it feels familiar because I've seen this now. I make sure and always watch Sydney. Like if you have to watch highlights of New Year's Eve, if you're into this, you have to include Sydney, like no matter what. I feel like they're the best, right? They go toe to toe with anyone. It feels familiar, but it also feels unique every year. That's what's crazy, right? I don't know how they do it. It's super, super freaking cool. Absolutely epic. I mean, look at it go crazy towards the end, of course, right? Grand finale time. And just the vibe too, right? The opera house, the bridge. The people watching from every which way in the water, on land. It's awesome. It's such a vibe, dude. To anyone that actually sees this in person and maybe has gotten to see this multiple times, with the most respect, I envy you. That is so cool. This must be just such a good vibe. Such a good time live. Yeah. We're going to cut it there. Australia, welcome to 2026 on my YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys. Big stuff coming. I'm just going to leave it at that for now. You just have to wait and see. Thank you guys for everything, as always. I hope your new year is starting out great. I mean, we're only a couple days in, but hope you're full of optimism and have some great goals and things to look forward to. So, yeah, thanks again. That's going to be it for this one. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.